Hello again. I am coming to you guys again from this spot. So this video, I don't know why I feel inclined to... Frank. She said... Oh, nice. Sorry, my friend's getting her tattoo in a few moments, and I'm like texting her, well, messaging her, and all this stuff. So, anyway, what I want to talk about here. Cross my legs. What I felt like talking about was something that had been brought up to me. How many days ago was this? Maybe like a week and a half ago. And sorry about this craziness. I can't get it to go away. And it kind of made me kind of think about my own life and what people think are kind of bad traits or negative feelings that people should not have. And I was hanging out with a group of people, and it was like a prayer devotional thingy, and we were going over it, and it was a pleasant night. And the subject had been brought up about like avoiding or staying away from your lower self or your base self. And I got kind of like, what like I understood what that meant, but then I had to keep thinking about it. I'm like, what exactly does that mean, a base self and a lower self? Because we use that idea all the time. And then also, why does it seem so bad? And I had to keep thinking about it. I'm like, what type of things would be deemed as like a lower or base self? And kind of the conclusion that I came to was dealing with emotions or thoughts or whatever that are things that people would naturally try to suppress. But the question is, why? Why do you try to suppress them? And I think that a lot of people try to suppress them is because of this idea of what it means to be like civilized, and dealing with like the influence of religion in that way too, about being dictated to how you should act or react or be spiritually, and that will reflect how you act and react to other people. And so there's kind of this split between, civilized and uncivilized, religious. And when I say that, like, when I say religious, I mean like monotheistic, Abrahamic, whatever, to not that. And it just made me kind of wonder, like, why do we think that all these things, and I don't mean all of us, but a lot of people think of like sexual urges or anger or frustration or dealing with like depression, or that's not really a lower self, but dealing with like appetites and passions are such a bad thing. And honestly, I don't think they are. I think what you do with them can be bad. Hold on, I have to get my dog. She's making me really sad. I can hear her whining through my door, and it's just really sad. Frank. So, and I don't know if it's because I've gone through a bit of trauma and really frustrating shit to come to this conclusion. But I've kind of realized that it's okay to be pissed. I think that it's natural to get angry. I think it's fine to get angry. I feel like we have those emotions for a reason. I think it's foolish to push them aside when they do happen and ignore them because they're just going to fester. Um, I get really frustrated when people say, "Oh, you're just giving, anger the power or sadness the power or whatever the power," and it's not like that. Um, I feel like we're given these emotions for a reason, and we have a right to do whatever the hell we need to get them out, to purge ourselves of um, these feelings. And it doesn't even have to be purging yourself of negative, say air quote, negative feelings. I think just any overblown kind of feeling, even if it's happiness, needs to kind of be simmered down. I think everything should be taken in moderation. So, again, like I said, I don't think it's wrong to have these feelings, these urges, whatever. They're all natural. I mean, we all have them. So I don't get why that's deemed as being like a base or lower feeling. We wouldn't be human if we didn't have these feelings. That's why I get confused. But if you were angry, would I think it'd be okay for you to murder someone? No. I prefer people to not kill each other. Would I understand why you wanted to kill somebody? Sure. Would I understand why you want to kick their ass? Sure. Am I opposed to kicking asses? No. I'm opposed to butchering someone. Because I understand what that feels like, wanting to get even and but I think that's a natural way to feel. If, wanting justice is something that is naturally felt. And, a lot of people think that, everybody has like their own definition of justice, but my definition of justice will differ from somebody else's. I know that for a fact. So I'm not gonna get into that, but people like me with a certain perspective on what justice should be and getting back at someone, to kind of teach them a lesson and, like in a way to like self-defense and kind of, whatever, is totally natural. Just depends on how you carry that out. Um, Kind of, it's the same with sexual urges. And I get kind of, oh man, I get kind of frustrated with people who, I don't know, again, it has to do with how it's carried out. Um, if you're not sexually careful, um, that's not good and it's not okay. But we all have, Frankie's like curling up behind my computer, which is why the camera is shaking. We all have urges. We're all curious. We all have hormones. Like, we all have to deal with sexuality and blah, blah, blah. And how we carry that out. People just need to be careful with it. But I don't think it's bad to be sexually whatever, because again, that's part of humanity. I mean, it's part of human nature, having these yearnings. So, like, I don't know. I guess, like, when I thought about that, I'm like, we're all born with these yearnings, these desires, these appetites, whatever. They're part of who we are. So, why try to deny that they're there or hide them? Why? I mean, they are part of us. And so I just want to know what you guys feel about that. I mean, I feel, again, just to summarize, that I think it's kind of foolish to kind of hide them or deny them or try to shun them away because they are what they are and they are part of us. But to express them tastefully, with caution, and to try to balance those emotions out, But I wouldn't consider that to be a baser or lower self. I mean, it's just part of the self. I don't think it belongs on a level. But yeah, I'm just curious about what you guys think. It was just one of these things that's been kind of running around my head, and I just wanted to know your opinions. So that's all I got.